Welcome back, folks, to the China Qualifier, all towards, of course, the Asia minor. Here we are with Vital Spark versus 8 Easy. We have had a bit of a minor hiccup in the fact that we did miss the pistol, unfortunately, due to a slight timing issue to resolve. A bit of an issue with the game as well, which we are going to have to wrap up, but nonetheless, we'll catch into this round. We'll fix that in the break. The 8 Easy here getting themselves pistol, starting things off. It was fairly cut and dry. Nothing too crazy to really report on. I think that's fair to say. We'll just have to see what the Vital Spark now can secure round 2 and tie things up 1 for 1. .55 seconds. Deagle almost being tagged down there. Got 74 HP when he walks away on as Koshak finds one of his own, looking for the double. Should know his position, but unfortunately still unable to trade. Curious to see if he'll be left to live here. And the answer is no. Both AKs picking up a kill now. That will even out the numbers. And if Atrosh did get on top of green, he would be able to potentially peep down the connector. Find himself just another frag, but they have to be very careful of the position of Rinku right now, as well as Yao. So the scout is no, peeking one by one. That's going to be an issue. Rinku then out as well. He's now been spotted. Expert seemingly unaware of the fact that he's there, but thankfully the AK does win out the duel every time there, and we are going to see the 2-0 take hold. Now, I'm going to quickly swap back to this, just so I can do something really quickly that'll make things just a little bit better. There we go. Perfect, we should be all set. I will also be interacting with chat as and where possible, making sure that we get that up right now. Hopefully this will work. Oh, please don't play the stream. This is where it all goes downhill, and suddenly we hear ourselves twice. Nearly did, but I think we're going to be okay. No advert as well. We've managed to survive. Fortunately, we don't have the login, so we can't change the title either. Already seeing predictions rolling though, a quick 2-0 for 8 Easy. Thinking this is going to be just a quite cut and dry game. We'll have to see. So far so good at least. I mean, it's been 3-0. Pistol was very clean. Second round follow-up was a little messy in certain areas, but for the most part, game looks fairly solid so far from them on their T side of train. First major buy now, though, from the CTs. We'll have to see what they can show for themselves. Of course, got the AWP for Orgs in play as well, so a fairly good setup here. We've seen him get rather aggressive for the close T-con. He's going to land right at the feet of Attrition. Almost a kill, actually, for Rinku, if he could just bite the bullet and go for it, but instead he's spotted. Going to cause some problems as the push comes in. Rinku will find himself one. Quick trade is going to take place, though. Edging out the CT side here. The push though, they're laying it on thick. Team's piling out on A. He's now re-peeking through the smoke. His head was known, the smoke then blooms. Suhar just goes to the pre-fire through it anyway, picks up the kill, and he's locked up now on a 1-on-3. 4-0, looking like it will be simple as that. Locked up, he's above. And even then, Krasim just going to get it done. Yeah, I'm actually super interested to see how the Vici 5 power game goes. I think, you know, Vici will, I imagine, will take it, but I don't know, it could be interesting. That could be probably one of the, I think that's probably one of the closest games that's going on currently for the China Qualifier. Obviously, there are 3 concurrent matches, I believe, taking place. You've got Vital Spark 8 Easy, which you're watching here with me. You've got Varys versus Nirvana, and then you've got Vici 5 Power. Later on today, of course, then we've got eHome versus Tyloo, iPet versus WNV, and BTRG versus Aster. The latter of which we'll be covering on the stream as well. Looks like 8 Easy feeling pretty comfortable so far, though the 5-0 will come through, and see just how solid they'll remain here. Spark, of course, back on the buy once more, and they can go for the double up if they want to, so the decision is theirs. How's it going, Mitch Man? Unfortunately, buddy, it's definitely not Mitch Man. We just can't change the title. It's actually Flakes. You might have seen me on the other minor cast throughout, sort of earlier today, on the other Chinese qualifier matches as well. I believe Matchman is casting. I'm just not sure on which stream, but I believe it's him on maybe second stream or first stream. Slow around now from the T side, not taking any risks here. Hotspot Cav really managed to expend the bulk of their utility, to be honest, coming down to the minute mark. Just a singular molly that remains now on Phil. The Hotspot pronunciations are a bit of a different one. I think it's I think we'll go with Phil. Can't really pronounce the G, so we'll just assume it's a silent G. Slow Siesta might come back to bite A easy. I'm a little worried about that. Works out fairly well from so far. Oh, locks up. Getting one with Rinku. The double clap. He's just for Shushka now. All on his Larry. Got the AWP at least, but that's going to be all as Locktop thinks about going for the knife even. He's going to finish off with a pistol in the end, but the result's still the same. Rinku, the double kill Kalat. Pretty crazy there, just lines him up in Pop Dog. I imagine he won't be complaining about that one though. Okay, unrelated question, are hot dog sandwiches? I'd say a hot dog is in a sandwich, right? Like it's a... Yeah. That totally counts as like a sandwich of some sort. I really hope that we don't end up in another battle of the internet provider. I had that earlier on today. I think we played something like 6 rounds in 2 hours due to internet outages. So I'm really hoping that my luck today continues to deliver for me, because if that's the case, then we're going to be spending a fair bit of time in this pause, but I certainly hope not. I want to be seeing the Counter-Strike if possible. Looks like they're already starting to return back to server though, so that's always a good sign. I like how the title says one thing, Moobot says something else, and the actual caster is someone completely different. A taco's not a sandwich, but a taco's not got like bread in it, right? Like a hot dog's a sandwich because it's like a hot dog in like a bap or like a baguette or something, like whatever you want to put it. But it's all bread, right? A taco's not a sandwich because it's not bread. There's a key difference. You know you peaked in life when it's 5:20 in the morning and you're arguing about the difference between a hot dog and a taco and whether they're sandwiches. Truly, I feel like I transcended. With that said, we are back into this one, ATZ. Looking to get themselves a 6-1 here if possible. Double stack towards Pop Dog will be relinquished as rotations begin to come through for Vital Spark. Very heavily towards A, of course. 4 players dedicated. But for the most part, passive setup. As Ivy will begin to be tested by the T side now. Moving up to the core trio. First contact soon to be taken. So far, so good. The AWP will strike back, though. One more to be found by Phil as well. Things go from bad to worse. As Explorer is caught, leaving just Koshak now and Kasim. One to grab the bomb, the other to take a long-range CZ fight, which is just not the one. This round pretty much done here. ATZ only have 1 player remaining. With 45 seconds on the clock. Should be pretty impossible, but an immediate pause is called. We know there will be a small break between rounds. Would you consider a tortilla bread, though? I mean, are we talking like hard shell, like soft shell? I don't know. I guess your argument is like, is it just a tortilla because it's made out of like flour or whatever? But I think it's not bread. I think it's different. I don't know what I would call it, but I don't think it's bread. Maybe. Let me Google it. Let's just see what is a tortilla classed as bread. I like how it's actually predicted in Google search. Like, okay, so according to Google, technically it is bread. Mexican tortilla is a soft, thin, and flat, unleavened round bread. The more you know. So I guess yes. I guess we would consider it like, but I don't know. It's kind of weird to say a tortilla is like a taco is a sandwich. You might be onto something there, though. For those who are wondering why I'm rambling on about tortillas and tacos, it's because you can get involved in chat. You can ask questions. And that is what we are doing right now. I'm chatting to 9WXYZ because that's a very difficult name to say. Nonetheless, more than happy to interact where possible. Don't want it to take away from the game too much, but I think in these solo casts and in these matches we can get a little bit more laid back. It's to be a bit more of an enjoyable approach for you guys at home. That sounds like $1 million idea there. A sandwich shop that only sells hot dogs and tacos. Go for it, buddy. Just move to New York City and try and live the Big Apple dream. To be honest, it probably would work quite well. There's actually a bagel shop that literally sells like donut bagels and stuff like that. They're crazy in NYC. So if that can survive, then I'm pretty sure a sandwich shop that sells purely just tacos and hot dogs would work out quite well. Mad Blanky, that's a name I remember. You've definitely been with us for a couple of the other minor matches. Glad to see you with us again. Continuing to support, of course, these teams on their road to the various different minors. Of course, right here is the China Qualifier. All the teams that will slot into the Asian minor. 2 teams, of course, will make it through the China Qualifier. It's looking like it'll be a fairly tough battle in the later stages, but we found early on in the brackets the games have been a little bit more lopsided, so it'll definitely be interesting to see sort of how that pans out. Unfortunately, it looks like we are going to be stuck in the extended pause for just a little longer, as we've now lost a player from Vital Spark as well. Penguin says, I'm so sleepy, or I'd weigh in on those food wars. I feel like you got to let your opinion be known. Sleep is no excuse. Where am I from? I'm from the very cloudy and rainy England, unfortunately. With the sun just coming up, actually, which is always a good sign. There we go, though. The 5th of Vital Spark will return. Xiao. I think we'll go with Zhao. Yeah, Zhao. Just gonna get himself the AK that was dropped as he disconnected. I'll tell you what, now's a better time than ever. Let's take a look at the odds for this match. Of course, those are provided by our wonderful partner, GGBet. Already failed to bring them up, but there we go. 11.14 to 6.07. Those are some interesting odds, that's for sure. Go get involved. Place your bets, of course, over on GGBet. Variety of all the different minor matches can be featured on there. So, if you are a fan of the eHome Tyloo game, for example, then you can put your money where your mouth is. You're from San Francisco, where it's cold and rainy in the summer and warm in the winter, so you really should be on a... Yeah, it's sort of a bit of a weird one, San Fran, isn't it? Kind of like Silicon Valley as well. It's, yeah. Either way, folks, we are back live and kicking. Round 8 is where we're at right now, a 5-2 scoreline after ATC took the pistol, started strong, but they did falter a little. Now they're under pressure as Xiao is just putting in the work right now. Mitsuha got to find a double of his own. That creates this 2-on-3. You see him is up and above, but the whiffs are just not doing him any favours. This Koshak now do all the work himself. Got a lot of time to work with at least, and arguably has the tools to get it done. Problem is, when the orb just peeks you nice and wide and you're stood there out in the open, it's a rare sight for Rinku to miss that, I think. He's going to open up the game a little bit more here for the Vital Spark side, as they will get themselves up to 3. Worth noting, though, ATZ weren't exactly fully bought into that round. They did have a couple of holes in their buy. Still not going to see a perfect buy here either. Very limited utility, enough to maybe go straight into a set piece. And even just the deagle on Mitsuha because he wanted the full util, so taking a fairly costly approach to this round. Solo E-box play, a little bit rough. Fortunately, his teammate was trapped due to the pop dog smoke. Didn't really get support, was just kind of hung out to dry there, but I imagine it was not exactly planned. Out, finding one of his own. Kasim will be quick to trade, but likely still the B site to be lost here. Really, he's going to just rely now on Expert not dying, and oh, there's the result. Falling almost immediately to Phil. Leaving Koshak again in a 1-on-3. The man loves it. Often found last alive, and often found in these rather dire positions. Very little he can really do here. Last time he did pick up a kill, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he's going to get the 1v1s this time around. He'll have to face off against them when they're stacked up against him, and it really doesn't give him a way out onto the site, especially when you got an orb bearing down on you, like Rinku, who's really actually starting to step up in this game, to be honest. We saw a great little double kill that would have got him a little bit more warmed up early on in the game, and from there he's just continued to sizzle. 11-6 right now, leading by quite a significant margin for Vital Spark. Obviously helping them get practically close to equalising the game. Now 4-5, just one round the difference, and the money for ATs is going to warrant just pistols here. Penguin's got a point. We proved it. We googled it, and it is technically a bread sandwich. So do with that what you will. I'm actually somewhat hoping, I've just realised that because of the time in the morning it is the time in the morning where I get a little bit of background noise because of the trucks that come through my road. So I'm hoping you can't hear that too badly through the microphone, but folks, but let me know if you hear like a slight industrial sound, and I'll see what I can do, but it should be fine. Fortunately, one of the downsides of living in the big city. Tend to make a little bit of noise early on at 5:30. The morning workers kicking in. I have no idea how they wake up so early, in all honesty. Looks like it is going to be kept fairly clean though, the CT side. It was a little delayed, but for the most part... Okay, Mitsuha, expert as well. The land of the One-Deegs. AWP picked up as a huge gun to find him. Walked right into it. That's another kill. Xiao now left all alone. A 1-on-2, and it's all thanks to the glorious One-Deeg. Nico would be certainly proud of this one. Long lost Chinese brother putting in the work. Thanks, Burr. All that remain now will be spotted, and Zhao thankfully going to close it out. Cutting it very close though. Pretty hard to notice over the map's ambient. Well, that's always a good sign. I'm glad. Yeah, I've got very like thin industrial windows in the studio as well, which doesn't help. They really could do with like some soundproofing or something. It's never a problem though outside of really weird times. Like it's always at like 5:30 in the morning. They're always just coming through, and it's a bit of an issue. But outside of that, it's always fine. So yeah, we'll have to fix that at some point, I suppose. So yeah, a question regarding the veto. For that I can answer for you. It was a pick from 8 Easy to Play Train. Meanwhile, Vital Spark picked Mirage, and the deciding map is going to be Dust 2. Kasim, gonna find Rinku. Great opening pick here for the T-Studders. They look to maintain their lead. Spark have already been able to bring things back and equalise, so concern definitely setting in for them. A team who most would say, well, some would say, in fact, they should be 16-0ing every single map here. There's some real weighted opinions going towards 8 Easy here, but Spark definitely proving that they are here to play, here to compete. Not a great start into round 11 for them, though, unfortunately. Just losing Rinku. It's a great pick from Kasim, that AWP-on-AWP battle. It was recovered though by Xiao, so we'll have to see whether he can bring a little bit of that performance to light. Let's see the full execute come through on towards B. That prompts every single rotate. Sparkman was demonstrating the inexperience there, I think. They completely caught out by the fake. Now they're going to be rotating over, and 8 Easy should know where every single player is going to be. Somehow Rose though able to get away with 2 kills, still one of his own. Koshak will save the day, equalising the numbers once more. 8 Easy, great plan, but a little shaky execution in the latter stages here. Bill looks like he might just be about to walk through a smoke, which is going to work out for him, and he knows the position of Koshak. Thankfully, can't quite wallbang that, at least not without just holding down the trigger, trying to tap at it, only doing about 10 HP on each shot. It's beeping and train noises, right? They're playing on trains, so it feels like it's from the map. Yeah, pretty much. And they're gone now, right? Like, it literally is just a matter of like 10 minutes at very obnoxious times in the morning, so I suppose it's only an issue when I'm casting at weird times in the morning. It's casting a full-time job, it is. It's a bit of a weird. I do have a couple other like weird things in esports as well, but generally, the full-time esports stream continues to be the meme that is my life. Kasim, great opener, but thankfully only pistols so far to contend with. Deagle will snap back and take down Kasim though, so that's an AK given up to the CT side here. Locked up as well, finding Expert. Pretends to have a little bit of trouble in the wind. Plant will come through towards B though, when little to no presence there. I imagine this should be a pretty easy round now to close. Locked up maybe throws a curveball if from behind, but it looks like he might not even get the jump on them. They are just holding for him now, so actually, they've both turned around and left him be. Problem is, he's up against 3 now, which is going to make his life even harder. If his teammate could stay alive, there was like a thin chance. A very thin chance, but a chance nonetheless that he got the double kill on sight, and his teammate just needed to win the duel against Mitsuha. How do you describe it on Taxum or to friends? So typically it's either one of the two things. It's either it's too complicated to explain, is my usual response, or my other response is usually just video games. It's a lot easier, I find. Otherwise you have to go through the whole analogy of like sports commentator, but for video games, and then they get really confused more often than not, especially to like family and stuff, so kind of have to approach it that way. Just trying to see if I can pull up some extra information about this. I couldn't find anything on HLTV, but it did just think to me to maybe check the CSGO to Asia site. One of the best sources possible, actually, for news on the Asian CS scene. But yeah, unfortunately, it seems like I can't find much at all. I do see that VitalSpark did play against Vici and 5Power, though, recently in the DreamHack Masters Dallas qualifier. And in that, they actually did beat Vici in a best of 1. 5Power best of 3 didn't go their way. It was a 16-9 and a 16-14, but starting to feel like VitalSpark might actually be quite a stronger team than some of you folks might originally be letting on. Expert though, got a bag an entry kill, so at least a solid start there. Nothing really Vital Spark can do now. B-site just being overrun. Imagine we'll just see the full save here. It looks like that'll be the case. Every single player, bar one, all heading to Ivy. Just going to leave Rinku holding off Pop Dog. You might actually be able to find Koshak here. Even that's not going to happen. Rather unfortunate, but it is what it is. ADZ will begin to extend their lead somewhat. Up to 8 rounds here. It's a combination of Water Director and Manual, depending on sort of whether I'm looking at things for you guys or not. Like, I keep all of the match tickers up for other games as well, so that can sort of keep you guys in the loop. As I appreciate more often than not when people are watching the minors, they're sort of generally flicking between channels to sort of catch all of the minor action, whether it's due to betting reasons or whatever else. So do try give a couple of interim score updates where possible. This is an absolute bloodbath over on A. Almost getting caught out there. Does leaving the ends out. Oh, there's Larry. He'll be taken down. But Church just sat in T-Con. Know exactly where to look. 14th round, lock and key. Round 15. Back on the table with Vital Spark at least. With SMGs and such, they will get one rifle in play. Well, arguably still on the table for them, but definitely a tough sell. Unfortunately, I don't know what language they communicate. Oh, Phil might give himself up here to expert this sort of range. The AK. Just gonna chew you up. The Eagle, don't get me wrong, could land on Eagle too, but it's a little easier for expert just to tap you down. Rinku demonstrating that point there, looking for the long range shot, doesn't quite connect. Meanwhile, the AWP on the T side really demonstrates what it's like to actually hit something. Quick kill found. One more potentially likely as they do try and hold on to T-Con for as long as they can, but they've let Kasim get out onto the site. That means their Ivy presence is effectively nullified. The AWP as well completely trapped. Mitsuha double tasking between looking Pop Dog and holding T-Con. All we need is Kasim to push on around, and the round pretty much is secured. There you have it, 10-5 scoreline. ATZ starting strong on the train. They did have a bit of a blip, you know, allowing Vital Spark to train, obtain, 5 rounds back-to-back on train. But all in all, I think it's a fairly solid half for them. Of course, quick updates, folks, on the other matches today. Varese Nirvana is 11-1 right now in favour of Nirvana. Meanwhile, Vici 5 Power is 3-3. It's looking like a fairly back-and-forth game. Keeping a close eye on that one. Let's see, what is the plan now? Vital Spark. They're going to be tested a fair bit here. The T-side probably going to be a lot harder to crack a more experienced lineup. But it does mean they could also sort of play their own game a little bit more than what they know. So far, so good. Rinku will find the first pick here as they do push out one towards B. Smoke thrown as well, but getting tapped down through it. Quite how they hoped it would go. Koshak does have a USP though, which means that... Well, Rinku, sorry. Does allow them to take a little bit more comfort in those long-range duels as the CT side begin their push. Locked out having to do nothing at all as his teammates got his back covered. Patrushka good for one, but the trade's just coming through. Leaves Koshak down once again in a scenario where he's got to clutch it out. He's just pretty commonly found in these 1v3s and 1v2s, isn't he? That's an unfortunate ending. Just knifed in the chest. Not realizing he's out of ammo, got to force the reload. And there, just takes the karambit. Gets it done. I'll put Vital Spark on 6 now. Really proving just how close this game will be. Yeah, I have the camera shot set up on the observer config, but just a little iffy sometimes, so try to keep it simple. But like timeouts and stuff, though, definitely, yeah. But at the same time, it's like when we're just doing a bit more of a casual stream, sort of talking to the chat and so on, it's not too bad. Don't want to multitask on 8,000 things at once. As long as we catch all the action, that's what counts. Curious to see if the SMGs will be the ones to get the kills here, given that there are only 2 in play. Arguably, you want to see Vital Spark make a bit of money. Obviously, it's fairly critical for them they actually bag the win, but just looking at it from a best case scenario point of view, if they can get the kills on those SMGs, that would do wonders for them. So Bill will start the show though. Those Deagles will line up a few. There is a bit of a wrench in the works for this team side as they continue to face them, giving a easy opportunity over opportunity here to take them down. This round, I think, going to be a bit of a kick in the teeth, unfortunately. We'll seem to finish things off, and yeah, ETZ have gone from being around back and likely going to allow Vital Spark to thin the gap a little bit to keeping it fairly even. All based on just a couple of nice 1-digs. Yeah, Moobot's kind of just not right today. It's, along with the stream title and such as well, but unfortunately, I have the DDoS for every other stream, like StarLadder 1 and 2, but just not for 3. So it's kind of just poor timing, unfortunately. But at least you guys know what you're watching, right? It's on your screen, thanks to the one team names helping us out, I suppose. Oh my god, Auto Director really needs to cut out sticking on those dead bodies, though. I'd show you one of the lerps, but I need to open my stream deck to do it. Currently, it's behind my second monitor, so. I'll tell you what, I recommend that for any budding observers. I know typically we bind them to the numpad, but I'd recommend like a stream deck. Or observing. They're actually super good for like the cam parts and such. That said, 12-6, very likely to be 13-6 in about 5 seconds really, because these pistols, well, they are rocking it with their Glocks out. Nothing they can really do. Just gonna be mowed down completely. 5 Glocks, nothing at all. The Vital Spark in that round. What really counts now is that this full buy has to be worth something. They have to make something stick here. Typically, you don't bind them to obscure keys, you bind them to your numpad. So like 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, sort of all on your numpad. More often than not, you'll see it done in a way where 7, 8, and 9 are various different like T-side related binds, like related to T-spawn. 1, 2, 3 are related to CT spawn. The middle of the map is 4, 5, and 6. And then you can have a CT spawn and a T spawn on plus and enter. And then the rest will come a bit more free. You can kind of do whatever you want with those. They usually just cover like spots on the map. E.g. on train along a camp path that goes down Ivy. Talking of Ivy, Metsuha, head immediately blown off thanks to the scope of the SG. Trying to drop into pop, but you need the double stack play there to work out for you, but it does anything but. From one man advantage to a two man disadvantage in just a click of the fingers. He's Kassim to line up a kill of his own. What makes matters worse is the last two players remaining are so disjointed from each other, and they're going to have to walk through a smoke. We should just be able to catch him immediately here. He's not looking for him. Hasn't let him get up to hell, but well, he's going to find his teammate anyway. And now he's checking for him, so really lines up the double kill spray down, actually. Fair play to him. Almost on point, just an inch to the right, and he actually gets a double kill there with a spray transfer, so is this game just Game of Deagles or something? Seems like the Deagles are some of the most successful weapons on train for these two teams. Like Expert though, will be able to line up a fair few more if he's not careful. Might be overrun though, so the kills are there for him, but he's got to land every single shot. We've all seen what happens sometimes. The Deagles will just overrun you. From there, they get a huge plant, so keep an eye on here. Yeah, he should immediately back away now. Drop the molly, plays it nice and safe. Like this play from him. Not too greedy. I mean, he takes the peak, right, which gives him the chance to get the kills. But now just being a little bit more sensible. Knows full well that this is a game made easy. Just want to shut out. Focus on getting map 2 here. Given that this is their map pick as well, this should be the easy one for them to take, all things considered. Their peak. Nothing really connecting for them, unfortunately, and that leads to fairly swift deaths all around. The only player to find something was Rinku. Taken down pretty quickly. His teammate Phil hits the deck shortly after. That does put the first map point on the table for 8 Easy now, and they've got many to work with. We'll be in round 22 now, and potentially the final round of the game. But the upside for Vital Spark is that they've saved precious pennies. Make this round a bit more contestable. They've got the AWP in play because of that, and the 4 rifles as well. That feature game really is quite something, isn't it? Take a look at that for you folks at home again. Yeah, Vici 5 power, 6-6 currently. Nirvana did just 16-2 for Ism. Leaves us here. A 15-6 first kill favoring Vital Spark, and a second potentially about to come through as still tap downs Metsuha, waiting for the aggression through Ivy. Euros able to find Kassim. Now following it with another kill as well. Pretty much seals in this round now. Vital Spark clinging on. Why are we in third person all of a sudden? Why has that happened? It's just swapped me to third person randomly out of the blue. Counter-Strike doing as Counter-Strike does. already. Another solid opening pick. Rinku once again delivering with the AWP. Tuha will be there to trade though, unfortunately. Gets a little too aggressive. So far, so good. Thiel taken down there by Mitsuha. Koshak finding just another. That puts them now in a fairly firm 4-on-2. The B-side has been pretty much overrun, but Trishko's in a great position to be able to find at least one kill here. You see Mitsuha finds the other for him as well. There you have it, folks. 16-7 will be the scoreline. A fairly comfortable one, if I'm honest, for our wonderful CT side. 8 easy. And a couple of moments in there where Valspark, I think, impressed us, but for the most part, they really were unable to string too much together. Good pistol. There was that, at least. Fortunately, though, that will be all. Map 2 is where we're going to be heading, folks, after a very short break. Do not go anywhere. Be coming back with you. It could be a bit of a different map. I'm not so sure about Mirage. I think it could be either a lot more lopsided for ATZ, or we'll see if Valspark really bring it, given that it is their map pick, so they should be feeling quite comfortable. Only time will tell. Join us back here for Map 2 in just a few moments' time.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG.bet.